Morning, people. So we're doing another DIY project, and what are we doing this morning? We are doing a doorbell install.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. So we have no doorbell here, and we ordered a house-powered doorbell as opposed to a battery-powered doorbell. But there was no power supply with this doorbell, so we had to go online and look for a power supply. So these were two separate purchases. I don't remember what these cost. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah, so we're always looking for a deal, and we found a deal, and I believe we actually bought this one as a used, new, but I guess used but not installed doorbell on Amazon.
I think that one I got actually on eBay, and it was just a new other.
Okay, gotcha. So it's like a Ring doorbell camera, but we have a Simply Safe system, so it's a Simply Safe doorbell camera. They work identically. So we're going to be installing this. Little uniqueness. I have a plan, and I hope it's going to work.
Uh-oh.
So here's our challenge. If you'll follow me, this is where the doorbell is going to be placed. Somewhere out here. And you see these logs have ridges. They have a bump out, and then if you look over here, I know I'm running all over the place, but this is what the log looks like on the end, okay? So where the bumps are, we don't want to have to drill through the fattest part of the log. I don't have a drill bit that long, for one. So we want to try to drill through the skinny part of the log. So we're going to be mounting that doorbell centered on the joint. And then we'll have to get different size bits to see. We can use this as a model because it's the same log. In fact, the log is over here that goes over there. It's the same log. So we can use this as a measurement tool. So, being that we want the doorbell probably right here is a good height, we're going to be going into this joint. But before we drill, because I don't know how thick the door jamb is, there's going to be some unknowns behind this board. I think I want to go to the outside of this board so that I'm not going into the door jamb out here. I think that would be fine. Like I said, there's some unknowns here. What I'm going to have to do, though, is I won't have to pull this board off, but I'll have to pull off the inside board because we don't want to see the wire coming through like that. We want it to run behind, and then we'll run it behind, and right underneath the cabinet here, there's a plug. And you want a plug that's not on a switch so that it's hot all the time for a doorbell. So there is something, my light here is plugged into that, but there's another spot, so we'll be using that plug. So it doesn't have to go very far. It doesn't even have to go 3 feet. So I think the first thing we need to do is to pull this board off. Let me close this door. So we are trying to keep the heat in the house the best we can. And then we're just going to pull this board off. Now, I'm going to see if I can just pull the board off. It kind of wants to come off. Well, we might have to open the door. This is a nail pulling tool. First time doing this, so we'll see what happens. We don't want to break the board because I don't have one to replace it. Okay, that's coming off pretty easy up there. The thing is to take your time. You don't want to split the board. It looks like a nice fat cedar board, and I don't even know where you would find one like that. Ooh, that one's waiting to break right there. It looks like I'm tearing the house up, doesn't it?
Well, it came off nicely.
It did. It came off pretty good. So now we see what we have. We have a big door jam. Looks like they built it up with 2 2x4s. So we kind of want to pick a spot, probably over here. Yeah, I can feel the logs on both sides. So this is the log. We're going to try to go under this log. It'll be right here. I shouldn't have to pull that off. I'll just drill the hole right through there. And it'll be covered up by that board anyway because it's pretty wide. One pulled through, I can see here. A nail pulled through. What I'll do is pull that nail out. There's one up here too that pulled through. Man, it's just a finishing nail. Okay, so we're going to look at our these are some drill options. I mean, I've got more bits, but I have these in the house already. I don't want to make a big hole if I don't have to make a big hole, even though this is my longest bit and it'll probably go all the way through. I don't want to have to make a hole that big. What we have to first do is look at our inventory and see. I don't think there's any wiring on the camera itself. So here's the camera, and then here's the plate. We're going to be installing this plate, and the 2 screws are right here. The wire is going to come through the hole, so the hole needs to be, this will have to be centered on the hole so the wires can come through. And then I don't think it matters which side you attach it to, because I've already pre-read the instructions about a week ago. You got a couple different options with this thing. Too many, to be honest. You got different colored covers that you can put on there. It comes with white, but you can put black, or this looks like a green color cover. There's a little screwdriver here attached. But a whole lot of packaging. And then here's some screws that you use to put the plate on. This looks like it's for putting it on an angle if you want to lift it. I think we just want a flat doorbell camera, so I don't think we'll be using this spacer here. But the thing I need to look at is the wiring. I need to know how thin the wire is that needs to go to it. So this is the adapter, or the power supply rather. Looks like it has an extra cable. So it looks like the thickness, all the thickness needs to be is this thick to go to the doorbell. Actually, I don't think it has to be that thick. This will plug into the power supply. I've got a whole lot of extra cable, but that's okay. Better to have too much than too little. So this is the part that'll have to go through. So it's pretty thin. So I don't want to have to drill a hole this wide to put that through, because then we'll have to put some caulking in there to fill it back in. I would like to go with the thinnest bit necessary. That one might be too thin. Maybe this one. Looks like about the right thickness. You want the bit slightly bigger than the wire so it'll go through there. So this is a good bit. The only challenge we're going to have is I don't think this bit's going to go all the way through this wall. It's too thick. So it is interesting. I think I'm going to go through just right here, but I don't think this is going to be long enough. May have to drill from both sides, and hopefully they meet in the middle.
That sounds interesting.
Well, we'll start with the smaller bit, and if we have to use the bigger bit and fill it in, then we'll just have to. I'm just putting this bit in real shallow so that I get more bit extension. Make sure I got the right one lined up here. Let's see, do we want that one or do we want the one up here? This kind of goes behind the cabinet. I think it might be better up here. Yeah, I think so. I think I like it up here. Let's see. That bit ain't gonna be nowhere near long. I hate to drill a big hole, but that's might be what we have to do. This is my longest bit.
Or you'll have to go to the store.
I might have to go to the store, yeah. I don't know if they make skinny long bits. Actually, you know what? I may have an idea. I think you have some wood bits in that big orange tray. I did find a much longer bit. So I forgot about these bits. They're not ones I use very often. A little thicker than I would have liked, but this is the thinnest one we have. So we're going to try this one. Hopefully it'll go all the way through. Can't tell that it went all the way through, but let me check something here. I want to look at my width. It is barely wide enough, but we have some extra wood that we're dealing with, so I'm probably only getting to about right here. I'm trying to think whether I want to put it on the outside of this board or, yeah, I don't want to go through the 2x4 if I don't have to. I felt it go through something. Need a flashlight so I can tell. through. I see light. I think it did go through.
You've seen the light? You're going to change your ways?
I see the light. So let's see if that wire will feed through there. Sometimes things don't always work as easily as this did. And the wire's a little flimsy. It's thin. You got to be careful not to break it off. I wonder if I should go outside in or inside out. I'm going to try it this way. I can't really tell. We're going to need some kind of, yeah, it's bending up on me, see. We're going to need some kind of, like a coat hanger or feeder wire to go through. Can you think of anything we have like that?
I'll have to go look.
Let's see if this other end will go the other way. Yeah, it's hitting on something. Wait, I may have got it. It went through one obstacle and then it hit the other one. Yeah, I'm going to need some kind of feeder wire. So we're going to find something to use for a feeder wire so we can pull it through. Okay, what we got is we used a coat hanger. Old school, right? And it is pulled all the way through. So we got it all the way through. What we're going to do is tape the end of the wire to the coat hanger, and hopefully the coat hanger will pull the wire through the hole.
Those metal coat hangers are good to have handy.
They are handy.
They're not just good for breaking into cars.
The weather outside is so nice today. Trying to get a good wrap on the wire so that I can pull against it. And then we'll put some tape on it. Go around there a couple times. Maybe more than a couple times. Okay. Now, carefully, I'm going to pull this through and hope it doesn't hang up somewhere. You're kind of going by feel. I'm getting a little bit of resistance. I'm hoping that the wire doesn't slip off, but if it does, we'll just have to feed it again. Yay, we got it.
Sweet.
Let's see how that works. So all we gotta do now is untape the wire. Sometimes that might take several tries to get that through there. There was a little resistance because I think this hole is slightly higher than the one inside. So it kind of has to go through a little dip there.
Dip, baby, dip.
Dip, baby, dip. You dip, I dip, we dip. You dip, I dip, we dip. I missed my calling, right? I'm not musically inclined, so.
I'm sure there's an app for that.
So I was reading in the instructions to verify what I said earlier about the wires. It doesn't matter which screw you mount on, and that's correct. It works in either direction. So I'm going to pull the wires through, but not too far. And I'm going to get a couple of things here. This is the mounting bracket. I want to see something here because these screws look like they would pull through. Oh, I guess they don't. They look like they were going to pull through. All right. They're pretty tiny screws, so I don't think I have to do a pilot hole with these. So what you do out here is you just mount it right here. Screw these in here and here, and then attach your screws. It actually would be easier to attach your wires off the wall and bring the wire through and make sure you go through the plate and then attach them. It'd be easier to go ahead and attach them out here and then just pull the wire through and pull the plate to the surface like so and then screw it in. So we're going to do it that way. Looking for my Phillips head, man.
You need a little tool belt?
I think so. Okay. Looks like with this one you don't have to really bend the screws around. Yeah, you just have to push them through. Kind of doing them both at the same time. I got to loosen this one up some more. You always want to go to the left side of the screw so when you tighten it, it pulls the wire around the screw. If you go the other way, it'll tend to push the wire out. So go to the left side of the screw. I might have to do one at a time because it's getting... Alright, we're going to do one at a time. Here we go. Okay, we got the red one on there. I can hear somebody having fun. Do you hear that chainsaw running in the background? I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. Sounds like it's on the other side of the lake.
Fun.
Yeah, running a chainsaw is fun. Okay, check those, make sure they're tight. And then all we're going to do is we're going to pull the wire from the inside up against there like so. And then let me get a drill bit. Alright, so we got our bit. I don't want to go too tight because this is just plastic and you'll actually pull the screw through the plastic and rip the plastic. You got to be careful with the power tools. They're pretty powerful. That should be good. Good and secure. Now, all we should have to do is attach this. It just pushes on and down, and remove your little plastic. And there we are. We are simply safer now. I like the doorbell camera too better because then this camera here we can put somewhere else. Because this only captures this space right here. But with the doorbell camera now, it's going to capture all of this space going forward. And it works at 130 degrees. So that's almost 180 degrees. So a little bit short of 180 degrees. So I'm going to capture the entire area where the Jeep sits, the driveway, the mailbox, the road even, and even the whole porch. So it's going to catch more space, and it sends an alert or a notice, and it saves it. It saves the photo. Any videos are saved to the cloud, and then it saves. It sends a notice to your phone like that. So, big deal. I haven't powered it up yet. That's the only thing left. Come back in here, and we have to run this little cable. Now here's the little tricky thing we did. Instead of going in down here where I could just run it under the cabinet, I went up here. So we're going to have to go through here, which runs behind the cabinet, and then at some point we have to go down. Hopefully there's enough space there. Oh yeah, look at that. There you go. I thought the cabinet might be too tight to the wood. You wouldn't be able to get enough space. So that's all you got to do there. I got a couple nails here that annoy me. I'm going to pull out. Man, I thought I saw another one somewhere. Was that it? Guess so. Okay, so all we got to do now is reinstall this board. And if I can line some of those nail holes right back up, then it'll go right back in the same spot. code. Good thing about working with wood, it's pretty forgiving. Like if it doesn't go on, then you can pull it and redo it, pull it and redo it. Might need to get some more of these nails from the garage. Did I have any more? I got one more here. What we'll try to do is straighten this out so we can reuse it. And I could put a couple more nails in there, but it's good. It's just a board's just for looks anyway. It just covers up, and you can't even see that wire, like it's barely there. I can even tuck it down behind this little piece here. Let's see now. So here we have so much extra wire with this thing. Like there's a lot of wire here. This is kind of heavy and kind of big too. Let's see if it's going to hold itself up there when I plug it in. Yep, I think so. Okay, it's plugged in. We don't really know if it's working until we have to sync it with the Simply Safe hub and do all that part. So that would be next. But that's it for the installation. I'll be working on my phone with the software to get it linked in with the Simply Safe, and then we'll try it. Okay, so I was installing the wire and tucking it up and, you know, doing some cosmetic stuff, and all of a sudden, about 2 minutes later, the doorbell came on and says, okay, follow the instructions to finish your connection process. So it actually, you just go on your phone through the app, the Simply Safe app, and you just add new device, ask for the password to your Wi-Fi system, which I put that in, and then it gives you a QR code on the screen, and you just hold it up there like this, and the camera reads it off your phone, and then it connects, and then it pretty much is all self-explanatory. Once it connects, it's done. And so we have it all working. So there's a little light on there. It's real dim, but I guess at night you could see it. But this is what it does. You hit it, you hear it, and then it'll send an alert to my phone. There it is. Ding dong, someone's at your door. So I pushed it, and look, it's recording right now. It's recording us right now. Pretty neat. I like it. Okay, so since we installed our doorbell camera, we don't need to have two cameras covering the same area. So now we can take this camera down. So it's just magnetized, or if you twist it, it just comes off magnetized. This is one of my only cameras that runs on a battery, and I haven't had to recharge it since I got it. So it's lasted several months. So we're just going to take this down. Okay, that's all there is to that. And we're going to relocate it to the back porch. That's another project, by the way, this door. The squeaky door.
There's lots of projects out here.
Unpainted door.
This year we're going to have to do this deck, paint the house, and redo the lattice work around the deck. There's quite a few significant projects when it warms up.
Yeah.
Fixing the screen.
Mostly I want to finish the painting. That's one of the important things.
Well, yeah, you got to prioritize.
Finish painting, and then I want to paint the porch, all the wood on the porch, because none of it's protected. So.
And you got to replace some of it, and that lattice needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
So.
Plenty of projects.
No shortage.
A couple ways I could do this. I think I want to come out from the door just a little bit so I can make sure to capture the door. I'm looking at my angle, so I think right in the center here would be good. This one's wanting to strip. Yeah, I'll have to get a different screw. That one's no good. But the one screw will hold it. You don't really need two. And then I can go on my camera, my phone, and turn that camera on and make sure I got all my angles that I want covered. And you can set your sensitivities too. So if you don't want birds flying around the screen to trip the camera, you can set those settings in there. So yeah, that was a pretty quick and easy relocation of that camera. So now we got the whole back of the house covered. The door has a sensor on it. If you go in the door, it trips a door magnet sensor, but there was nothing out here protecting the windows, so now we have protection on the windows.